I'd call him my assistant, but really he's the one that runs the show here. I just sort of provide instructions. I allow Orlando to put together these sessions and then demonstrate them accordingly. Just waiting on give it another minute. In the meantime, maybe just start playing with the ball, getting warmed up, just getting familiar with the ball at your feet to make sure you're going to be ready to go as soon as we're ready to kick off. Very good, and we'll be going through till about 5 o'clock, and this is the 13s to 18 session, so I'm expecting to stretch you a little bit, expecting to do a few different things which hopefully will make you think, and a number of different little drills and activities that you can take away with you and play and practice in your own time even after today, and continue to build on this. So for those that don't know me, my name's Claude. I'm the under-17s coach and also assistant with the under-14s NPL side. And we're here to take you through this afternoon. So how about we get into it? And how about we start off, let's just put the ball aside for a second. Let's get into some stretching. So Orlando's going to do a couple of stretches for us. Start off, what do you want to start off with, Orlando? So just stretch your upper body. So stretch your shoulders. An interesting place to start. Not everyone thinks about starting off with their upper body. So just grab your arm, pull your shoulder back, but this loosens up your back. And it's important that your back's aligned when you're playing, because your core, that spine, if it's feeling nice and relaxed, then it helps you move and pivot your hips and pivot your lower part of your body. So get used to stretching your upper body as much as your lower body. Okay, what's another stretch that we're going to do? Just grab the back foot and stretch up, and you'll be able to stretch. Feel that burn in the front of the leg, in your quad. So here you should be feeling a little bit of a burn, a little bit of a stretch. Just pull it to the point where it's feeling nice and challenge there on the front of the quad. And keep your back straight, Orlando. All right, what's another stretch that we're going to do at this stage? So down, lean over a bit. So maybe face the camera. So down and then lean over, down on one knee, put your opposite arm over and then lean over again. We're stretching your ribs. You should feel it through the side here, stretching your lower back, stretching your back as well. And then do the other side. All right, what else are we going to do? Anything else? And reach down, grab your toe. This will be a challenge for some of you. If you can't reach down, touch your toe. So you lift the front of your foot up so your toe is pointing to the sky, and see only one foot at a time. See if you can grab it. And if you can't do it, your challenge is before the start of next season, do this every night before you go to bed. The idea is that you can reach down and touch your toe without bending your knee before next year. So raise your toe to the sky, reach down, grab the front of your toe, and you should feel that through the back of the legs. All right, let's get the ball handy and let's get into warm-ups with the ball now. So we'll involve the ball. So first of all, let's start off with just little baby middle juggles, and you can let the ball bounce. So you don't have to juggle it. It's just about keeping it close to the ground. And can you make it bounce in between each? If you can't, you can juggle freestyle, but it's just as difficult to juggle the ball but allowing it to bounce in between each touch. And the idea here is little juggles. So not really big juggles, not above your head, not above your knee. Just little ones, keeping it close to the ground and controlling it with your feet. Okay, next what we're going to do is some toe taps. So this is keeping the ball still and getting a bit of speed up, and one foot in the other, what I want here is for you to do this to the point where it hurts your legs. So you're feeling what we call a burn. So over time, you should be able to speed up, get some real speed going. Get that fast action. This is where you start to feel your lungs burn and you start to feel a bit of energy come into play. All right, so next, why don't we do some back L? So here you rake the ball back and flick it behind your stationary foot. So this is a little trick that you can do in the middle of a game, and it's just a little back L. So just pull it with the front of the foot with the toe and then push it back. And again, opportunity here is to start off slowly, and then as you practice, can you get quicker with this? And it's about getting into a rhythm. So some of you, doesn't matter if you can only do one every 10 seconds or so, it's about practicing. So slow it down, Lando, just show them how to do slow one. So you rake it and then you just touch it with the foot back. And it's a good little trick to get around players, get around opposition players when they shut you down quickly. All right, so again, good little rhythm, see if you can get into a bit of a dance. The next one here is a nice easy one, well maybe easy, but it's not going to tire you out. I want you to just balance the ball on your foot. So see how long you can balance the ball, get it on a sweet spot. It might be a bit more on your ankle, it might be flat on your top of your foot, but here, it's a real challenge. Again, a good one that you can practice in your bedroom because you're not going to break anything. Something you can do at night, something you can do when you're having dinner. Just have the ball under the table. And how long can you keep it balanced? And try it with both feet. This is another exercise which is really good to help build up capacity in your weaker foot. So if you've got one foot which isn't as strong as the other, it's a good way to start to get coordination. If you ever want to see someone who's amazing at this, Google Maradona. See what he can do with the ball, just balancing, just crazy stuff, right? But there are others that can do it, but he's like one of the granddaddies that can do it. Just balancing the ball and how long you can do it. All right, and the last ball warm-up is see if you can bounce the ball like a basketball, but using your foot. So you've got to bounce it, and it takes a bit of coordination and a little bit of timing. And again, I don't care if you can only do one or two. The opportunity is to build up on this. Try and control the ball under the foot like a basketball. The next stage, we're not going to do it today. The next stage is to try and walk in a straight line and bouncing the basketball. Or bouncing the ball under your foot. Another easy exercise, which helps build some of the core muscles in your ankles and lower legs, which contributes to control. All right, so let's get into some action now. So the first little drill that we're going to do, it's actually just a passage. There's no cones involved. We'll introduce some cones shortly. But the first thing we're going to introduce is a roulette. So a roulette, we're just going to do this in a straight line, is you take it forward, you step on it with one foot, and then you turn around, spin around, and rake it back with the opposite foot. So go, step, and pull back. Let's show that again, Lando. So I just want you to practice your roulettes back and forth. So take it forward and you step on it and pull it back. Again, some of you don't mind how good or how quick you are at this. It's something for you to practice. Do it in slow motion. I don't mind if in this session, all you do is take up and put your foot on and spin around. You might not rake it back. That might be the next stage that you need to develop when you build from this activity. So just practice this for a few minutes, roulettes. Take it forward, and I want you to practice with both feet, right foot and left foot. So obviously one at a time. And again, a great little activity in a game. Where can you introduce a roulette? You're coming up, a defender shuts you down, or an opposition player shuts you down. You need to change direction quickly, and it's an easy way to bamboozle them because they're watching your body and they don't know where you're going to go. So it's an easy way to get around opposition players with a little trick like that. So I'll give this a couple more minutes roulette. So go, stand, and spin. Go forward. Give this another 30 seconds. All right, so another one that, again, if you're feeling a bit rusty on this one, what can you do in the next few months so is that when you hit pre-season next year, this is part of your skill set. So when I'm watching you at trials, because I'll probably be coaching 2 teams again next year, are you pulling these tricks out and showing me what you can do? All right, so next what we're going to do, I'm going to get Orlando to set up 4 cones and set up 4 cones in a very small, tight square in the middle. So watch how he sets them up here. It's just 4 cones next to each other, like it's a little obstacle. Or you can just put 1 cone, or you can put a shoe, whatever you've got at your disposal, but we're going to use cones in the next few sessions. So if you've got the cone in here, what we're going to do is get you to practice a shimmy. And a shimmy is pretty straightforward. What you're going to do is you're going to show your body in one direction and then take the ball in the opposite direction. And this is in the interest of tricking the opposition player again. So Orlando, go stop and then pull away. So do one in real time for us, Orlando. So you take the ball to the cones, your body goes one direction, and then you take the ball in the opposite direction with your leading foot. Again, this is another one similar to the roulette, where when opposition players are watching you and not the ball, when they're watching your body, in this instance, you're tricking the opposition player because they go to follow your movement, but you're one step ahead and you take the ball once they've lost balance in the opposite direction. So a great way, if you've got little brothers and sisters or your mum's in the kitchen and you're dribbling the ball up to them, it's exactly the sort of move you do to get around them. Set up some obstacles in the backyard. If you've got a dog or a cat, it's a good way to get around one of your pets in the backyard. You don't have to wait to practice this one with players, because once you've got this action, it'll come naturally in a game. And really drop the shoulder. So Orlando, I really want you to drop your shoulder on that first action. Really take it one direction and then pull hard in the opposite direction. The lower you drop your shoulder in that first action, the more the opposition player is going to get tricked. Couple more. All right, so just grab a quick drink. We've been going for about 10 minutes. Grab a quick drink, stretch out. And what we might do is, after you've got your drink and stretch, how about I'll give you 2 minutes of freestyle. So just get the ball, do whatever you want, do little juggles, do little tricks, do some of those warm-ups. I'm watching the screen, 2 minutes of freestyle, do whatever you want. Just get the ball, keep the ball moving. It's not always about structured activity. It's also about inventing your own combinations, whatever makes you feel comfortable. So 2 minutes of freestyle, and then we'll come back together. See if you can practice some of those ones that we did before, the little basketball trick or the low juggles. If it helps, now might be a good time while it's fresh in your memory, practicing some of those trickier parts. But I can see there's some really good, solid freestyle skills here on the screen, which is good. Good to see. All right. Okay, so Orlando's going to set up 4 cones again. So now he's going to set up a little square So it's not a very big square. So make sure your cones are positioned pretty close to each other, okay? Because what we're going to do is ball control now. We're going to keep the ball tight to our feet within the cone. So a little square, not more than maybe 2 hands between the cones. And now this is about ball control. And the first one that Orlando is going to start is pretty simple. So go for it, Orlando. You're just toe tapping it across the back, the cone's closest to you. You just show it forward and then rake it back and pull it across. So just nice and tight. Again, a very useful action. If you're shut down by 2 defenders and you're going to get one, you've got to get around the second one quickly. This tight ball movement where you can just roll it forward, rake it back, and then a quick little shuffle across. And what I'm looking for here is, can you get into a pattern? Can you get into a rhythm? So after doing this for a minute, does it flow? And you might start off slow, that's okay, but then pick up pace and make it feel like it's a natural action for you. Okay, let's do another one now. So the next one, same cones, but now Orlando, what he's going to do, it's going to look like a bit like a W. So he takes it through the middle. So similar, but now there's the extra one in the middle. So you should be doing like a W with the cones closest to you. Again, tight, short, sharp, control. This is the sort of things that I'd expect my 17s to be pretty comfortable with. If you're one of the 13s on this call, I expect that this might be the first time you're trying this. Again, easy one that you can practice in your bedroom. You can build this up and practice this in your own time. So a nice little W there. All right, the next one, similar, but what Orlando's going to do now is take it around the cone. So he's going to do like a circle around the cone under his toes. So tight, both feet are involved, and he's just tapping it under the toes around the cone. So through the middle there, you can see we're still only using the 2 cones closest to your body. So just doing circles, you're probably doing like a little figure 8 here. Looks like a figure 8 where you're just under the toes. Almost feels like you're tap dancing. What this helps do is keep you on your toes. You may have heard your coaches before say, on your toes, on your toes. We don't want you to be flat-footed when you're receiving or handling the ball. So this drill here, when you get into a rhythm, you should find you're always on the tips of your toes. You shouldn't be doing this flat on your foot. It should be constantly balanced on the tips of your toes, which will build up a bit of a burn in your calf muscles, in the back of your legs. And again, I don't mind if you're starting off slow. The question is, over time, can you get quicker with this one? And you can see Orlando's using both feet to control the ball. It's not just a 1-foot activity. So this is important where we're needing to make sure we practice all of these drills with both sides of our body, with both feet. Okay, let's do another one now. Now this one here might take a little bit extra coordination because it's going to involve that back L that we did in the warm-up. So Orlando will show it on one side, take it through, and then around the back. So slowly he'll take it through the middle, through the front 2 cones, and then he'll take it behind his body. So the ball ends up behind his body. And then he'll take it in the opposite, well, we'll do it in one direction. So let's do this in one direction. So you take it through the middle and then rake it behind your body with the opposite foot. So the front foot takes it through the middle, the back foot takes it behind your body. So let's do this for one more minute. So through the middle, rake, through the middle, rake. Good. Good. All right, now let's go the opposite direction. So the opposite foot should be taking it through the middle of the cones, and the alternate foot should be taking it behind your body. Again, not looking for speed. I'm looking for accuracy here. You can build on your speed as you become a bit more coordinated with this activity. So take it through the middle, go Lando, and then behind the body. And through the middle should be a rolling action, and behind the body should be a little instep, touch or tap in that direction. All right, is there another one of these? Or is that it? All right, so pause there, grab yourselves another drink and just do a quick little stretch, and we'll get into another bracket in a moment. So now what we're going to do is Orlando's going to set up his cones with 3 cones at the front. So 3 cones and then 1 cone at the back where that's his starting position. So there's 3 cones, these 3 cones are flat. Those 3 cones are in a straight line. So put 3 cones in a straight line and then take about 4 or 5, or maybe 3 or 4 steps back and put your 4th cone in the middle. That's your starting position. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go forward, and it's a Y sole tap. So Lando's going to take it in one direction, and then underneath his foot, he's going to do like a letter Y or a letter U around the cone. So again, we're on our toes. We're sort of like hopping on the ball and just controlling the ball under our foot around the cone. As simple as that. So lots of hopping on one foot and controlling the ball with the opposite foot. Use both feet. Okay, so in one direction you use one foot, in the other direction you use the alternate foot. And you can see here, he's just hopping and almost like a toe tap. He's controlling the ball around the cone like a Y or like a U. We'll do this for another 30 seconds. So really control the ball, really work it in a shape so you're working it around the cone. Okay, so I'll give everyone a few seconds to finish up or to catch up. So we're going to build on that. It's a similar style drill, but now what we're going to do is we're going to actually go around the cone. So Orlando goes up and he goes around the front of the cone, so not behind the cone. So now there's more of a pushing action rather than a pulling action on his toe. So now you should be pushing the ball again. I want to see it under the toe. I don't want to see people tapping it across like it's an instep around the front of the cone, Orlando. It should be all under the toe. With these drills, you should be feeling the burn in your calves because there's a lot of hopping involved. Okay, so it's a bit more of a push. And if you want, you can put extra variations into it, but as long as you're taking it around the front of the cone. All right. So I'll give everyone a few seconds to catch up here. All right, so the next one now is an instep tap. So what Orlando's going to do is, instead of toe tapping it, now he's going to punch it with the instep. So you can see he's passing the ball from left foot to right foot to left foot. So it's that same U shape that we saw before behind the cones, but he's touching the ball across rather than sole tapping it across. Again, imagine these three cones are three defenders. You get around the first, get around the second, get around the third, and off you go. I'm speaking like everyone's a striker on this, but you know what I mean. Let's call it an opposition player. What's key here is that instep. Can you control your instep? So I can see Ferrante, you're still hopping. I'm not looking for the toe tap. Oscar, I'm looking for that instep. So a little pass. Toe to toe, a little pass there. And then you touch it forward, pass, touch, pass, touch. All right, so I'll give everyone 10 seconds to catch up and compose themselves. We've got one more variation on this, and it's similar, but it's a zigzag pattern. So here, what Orlando's doing is he's now taking it through the front, through the back, through the front, and he's zigzagging through the cones. So again, in toe tap, but then he needs to rake it back. So now we're combining all three of the previous drills. So you've got to zigzag one across the front, then one across the back, and then one across the front. And that's where you get that zigzag action. One across the front, one across the back, one across the front. And when you're starting out with this drill, you can spread the cones out. It gives you more time to control the ball. As you get more confident, you can really squish the cones in tight, and that will challenge you to be sharper and tighter on these ball movements. So it's a zigzag in front of the cone, break behind the cone, in front of the cone. We'll give this another minute. All right, give it another minute, another 30 seconds. And one more, Orlando, go. Go, one more. All right. Okay, now pick up your cones. We're almost there, we're almost at the end. Half an hour goes quick. Now what I want to see is I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Put your cameras on. I want to see you do this. I want you to just combine everything, roulettes, the shimmies, the toe taps, whatever, freestyle. Do whatever you want. 2 minutes, put it all together, create some combinations, but use the floor. Don't just juggle for 2 minutes. Show me some of the combinations you can put together now that we've gone through a number of these different actions. So go for it. 2 minutes of freestyle. Go for it. Oh, go. Go, freestyle, whatever you like. I want to see some roulettes involved. I want to see some shimmies. I want to see not just those finite, yep, some back L's there. Good, some raking. Take the ball into different directions. A good way to do this in your own time is to set up cones and make sure that you create a bit of a circuit, and you've got to get around the cones or obstacles, whatever they might be. You might set up whatever, furniture or what have you, and train yourself to change the direction with the ball in these tight actions. So I can see some good miles. You're doing some good shimmies there. So a bit more freestyle. We'll give it 30 seconds. Finish hard, finish strong, put it together. All right, for the last 30 seconds, get the ball balanced. I want to see who can balance the ball the longest. Just get it on your foot. How long can you balance the ball? Hold it up, balance the ball on your foot. Raise your knee. How high can you get it? Lift your leg, lift your leg, lift your leg. And do not move until tomorrow morning. No, you can probably move. You might have to go have dinner soon. All right. Now that, I want you to practice that on both feet, not just on your preferred foot. See if you can balance it on both feet. Okay, guys, that's it from me. That's the half an hour done. So thanks for joining us, everyone. Hopefully that gave you something to blow off some steam with, and look forward to seeing you on the next one. So it's goodbye from me. A big thank you to Orlando. Bye, Orlando. And we'll catch you next time, guys. See ya.